Was that the question?
Sacrifice all the time. It's money on my mind. Drip on drip like a war. The faucet that mouth open like a oar. The guns, you ain't gotta get it, but you know what it is. Spend some racks to get right here.
Welcome to the Jacksonian. Today we got a special guest. We got Mickey here from Campus Activity. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to talk with you today about Campus Activity. I wanted to learn a little bit about it. How'd you come up with it, the concept, and all of that?
All right, I'm happy to be here. All right, so I started Campus Activity in January. It really came from an idea with some of my friends who was just, like shooting stuff with me. They used to see me at FAMU stuff because I got my bachelor's at FAMU and my master's at Jackson State, and they would say, we always see you and all this dope, this dope FAMU stuff, but you don't never wear nothing Jackson State. And I said, well, I don't own nothing Jackson State because I can't never find nothing. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, well, how about you make something? So, people are real big on like sticking stuff on something, putting them on hats, putting them on hoodies, putting them on t-shirts, like make something, stick it on it, and see what happens from there. So with that, I went home, drew up a design on like a dry erase board because that's all I had at the time. I showed my friends and they still were kind of like, we not really seeing the vision. They wasn't seeing what I was seeing. So I drew it up on my iPad, which is this exact design here. Well, the red one, but this exact design here, showed it to them, and immediately everybody I asked was like, yeah, that's gonna slap, that's gonna be hot. Came up with the concept to put it on a patch, give it that like varsity Letterman jacket feel, and I mean, it's been taking off ever since. So that's how Campus Activity, came about.
Okay, and so when did you start this up?
So I started Campus Activity, I formulated the first idea back in January, and I launched Campus Activity February 24th.
And this is 2021, correct?
2021, this year.
Okay. So how has business been for you since you started? Business
has been great. The first release, which was the blue with the red Letterman J, it sold out within the first week, and that sold out basically off like word of mouth, off of pictures, off of sheer faith. People just believing in what they saw, not seeing the quality, seeing how things feel, how they fit, if it shrinks, not hearing other referrals or how people felt about it. So I really appreciate those people who bought from me the first time before anybody did. Once that sold, I knew like, all right, I got something special. How can we keep this up? So every release after that, I've released 2 more since then. They've been really great. I've gotten some really great feedback about it.
Okay, yeah, and we saw Deion Sanders had your brand on as well, correct?
Yes, I was super excited about that. Like, Deion Sanders is he's a Hall of Famer, so I figured he's not gonna wear nothing he doesn't like. He got the package the day of the Southern game, and I thought like, dang, he may be upset and not put it on. I wrote a letter, put some nice stuff in there. But when I saw it on social media the next day, YouTube like screaming, like praise dancing around the apartment. I was so excited to see him in it.
Yeah, it was like a surreal moment. You just started and you already got in the hands of a.
Exactly. So I hope he liked it. He wore it. So hopefully we'll see him in some more.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully so. So what were you doing before Campus Activity came?
Yeah, so before Campus Activity, like I mentioned, I'm an artist first. So I started out with Mickey Yant art back in college, and that's something that I still do to this day, where I paint graduation caps, I paint shoes, leather jackets, canvases, mural portraits, you name it. I usually can do it, create it, design it, music plaques, whatever. So Mickey Yant art, that's like, it's still a passion of mine. It's something that I've done on the side and I still do during Campus Activity. But in the daytime, I work in the NFL with the Miami Dolphins as a group sales account executive and event operations executive. So,
okay.
9 to 5, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't want to ask you the traditional questions about like, what was it like, first getting a job. I want to get deep into it.
For sure.
You were the only black person there, right?
Yeah, so I'm not the only black person, but the only black female on the team. So I'm the only female in the group's team, and then the only black female on the floor, which was crazy to see. I think I always told people, even in my job interview, this job is bigger than me. This is it's from where I'm from. It's for girls that look like me. It's for people like me. I'm not the traditional, white collar individual that goes in and has everything handed to her. Like, I really, really worked hard to get where I was. And I got to see some things like that. People that from back home only get the dream of. My first ever football game was the Ravens versus the Dolphins. I got to see Lamar Jackson in his first ever game. He balled out. I mean, I was on the Dolphins side, of course, but Lamar Jackson balled out. My first year, I got to work Super Bowl. That was amazing. I got to work hand in hand with the Raiders for a week. I was their personal liaison. And then I just wrapped up college national football championship. Like, I always found myself like Forrest Gump, like in the strangest places, working right there, being right on the sidelines, picking up confetti and shaking hands and bumping bumping elbows with like the craziest people. So the experience so far has been, I always tell people, it's for my city, it's for people like me, it's for women like me, it's for people who think they can't. Like you, like, I hate to sound cliche, it's like work hard, but grind it out and never meet a stranger, and I promise it'll put you in the right places.
For sure. So Jackson, growing up here, you know, a lot of people aren't as blessed to make it out. So what was it like for you and your upbringing in Jackson?
Yeah, for sure. Luckily for me, I had parents who were exposed to leaving. One thing I always notice is people from Jackson, they don't like to leave. They feel like it's gonna go somewhere. You gotta leave, and then you can come back. You can bring back what you learned. So as soon as I graduated, I went to school in Tallahassee just to, you know, grasp something different. Jackson for me, it was like, you know, this is where my best friends at. This is where you meet some of the best people, but it's like, what else can you do with that? I have all this talent and it's nowhere to put it. You have all of this knowledge, you have nobody to give it to. And so just being from Jackson, I think has been like it's that grind, like, all right, I gotta make it out. So when I get there, I can pour back into my city. When I get where I need to go, I can look back and bring everybody with me. Put everybody, now, you know, I think everybody feel that way. Like you want everybody to eat. It's essentially that mentality for me. Growing up in Jackson, people don't realize, like, we don't have the things that other people have. I told people that every day. We had no professional sports teams. I had never been to a football game, had never been to a basketball game, had never been to a baseball game, because we don't have that. We don't have those opportunities, but that doesn't mean we're not able to be there. We're not able, you know. So Jackson got the best people, the best food, and I think here you just feel my fire. Like, when I go, I'm gonna make sure people know about Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so do you attribute Jackson as the reason why you're as knowledgeable as you are, or did you learn that leaving the state?
I would say leaving, I became more cultured. In Jackson, it's pretty black and white. Like when I went to Florida, I learned, you know, that there are black people doing other things. You learn it's black people from other islands. Here it was just kind of like, this was all I knew. And so I learned to step outside of my shell. Being, you know, so Jackson kind of boxed, I'm not gonna lie, it boxed me in for a little bit. Like, I didn't go to school with people of other races. I went to Lanier. It's an all black high school. Well, I went to college, that's not the thing. And when I go to work, that's not the thing. And people not talking the same, and everybody ain't vote for Barack Obama. They're like, what? I don't agree with you, and I'm not understanding. I'm talking about, like, you know, chicken wings and pig feet, and they looking at me like, that's nasty, what is that? So Jackson, I think I can attribute Jackson to who I am as a person, my Southern hospitality, my Southern charm, like me being the person I am today. I can contribute that to the South, and I will never, I'm gonna give Jackson all credit for, like, my spirit and, like, my heart. But leaving just showed me, like, that is more out there, that it is better out there, or that this could be that if we all knew it was there. You feel me? So yeah.
So I guess the question now is like, I mean, me personally, I grew up here as well, but I didn't, like you said, I didn't learn much about what we were kind of missing until I left.
So you left.
And then actually explore, like, what it's like living up north, on the East Coast, on the West Coast, you know, and even further down the South, like going to Houston or Dallas, and just being there for a minute. So with you, what are some things that, what do you feel like, at least, that Jackson needs more of, so people don't have to keep leaving? We can actually learn here and develop here into good people that can do the same things that we see others do in other cities. I
think for Jackson is we just need to learn how to be ahead of the curve rather than we trying to play catch up. We're so behind. Like you look at these high schools and you look at these middle schools. My brothers left Jackson in high school. While they were in high school, my younger brothers left, and they were taking, like, robotics classes in high school, photography classes, and film. These are things we're having to teach ourselves on the back end instead of in the schools for free. Well, y'all could just teach us for free. We don't want to take child development at home. Teach us how to operate computers, and teach us how to operate cameras, and teach us how to operate robots, and
find your passion.
Like, so you'll have a passion. Most of us come out and don't know what we want to do. We want to be teachers and we want to be nurses because that's all we know. When I went to college, I was like, I'm gonna be a nurse. I didn't want to be a nurse.
Or a lawyer.
I'm a major in biology. Why? Because I was good in biology in class. But you realize, how do you know you want to be an accountant if you never took an accounting class? How do you know you want to be a mechanical engineer if you never took anything that told you that you could do that? So I think it starts, like, from the roots, like putting these classes in place, bringing, because it's people here who know how to do that. So putting these classes in place and putting these opportunities and these spaces in place, even entrepreneurship. Teach people how to do that, how to properly get LLCs and pay taxes. And if you do that while they're in middle school, while we're in high school, we come out as better adults, I think, to society. We go get these degrees from other places, get them from Jackson State, get them from Belhaven, Millsaps, Tougaloo, and we build into our own city. How do we know we want to do architecture? The infrastructure here is so much space. Like downtown is beautiful, but nobody's putting into it. Do we know how? Who's to say? But how are we supposed to know that if we don't have these classes from the grassroots?
Yeah, I agree.
Pouring in, you gotta know.
Sometimes it seems like a dead end because it's not really our fault. It's more so higher up in the government. That's where it starts. The funds, being able to have the knowledge, to be able to know, okay, let's get these children in a little bit more options in high school or middle school, elementary, wherever.
Right.
And then it doesn't help in our capital city, you know, when you don't have those youth programs.
No movie theater here. It's no sidewalks here. It's no parks here. You think there's no sidewalks? You can't even walk in Jackson.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. Technically, there is no movie theater or mall in Jackson right now.
In the capital?
No, this is the capital city. No.
And the only sidewalks are downtown.
But they got some in Fundry now, but we know why. Yeah,
we know
why.
Yeah. Gentrification. Y'all better get Fundry before you can't come back.
What are some of your interests and some of your hobbies outside of working?
So crazy. I feel like my interests go into my work. I love to paint. One of my biggest thing is sporting events now. Again, that was something that I didn't have access to, but I love going to sporting events. So if it's a hockey game, I'm trying to go. If it's a baseball game, I'm trying to go. I like basketball games. I like to eat. Yes. Miami made me miss Southern food. It's not the same. The food is not the same.
Miami?
It made me miss Southern food for sure. Like there, people eat like avocado tacos and gluten-free cupcakes.
Everything's healthy.
Because it's summer year round. You got you can't work on your summer body in the winter because there's no winter. It's always summer. I be hungry. I'm like, can you stay for my plate clothes? I need some E&L, some stamps. Like,
you couldn't find, like, they ain't have too many soul food spots down there?
They did, and people made a big deal about it. Like, Trick Daddy has a restaurant Sundays. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but because I'm from the South, I'm like, my grandma made it. My grandma's house. My grandma make a killing down in
Is
South
it high end?
No, to my Sundays?
Yeah.
No, it's just kind of like an E&L, but just probably a little bit more upscale. So it's you can't sit down and eat. So you go through. It's nice. They have like fried ribs, fried chicken, yams. But it just don't.
Fried ribs?
It's just fried. I ain't never heard of that, but it's good. But it just don't hit like Jackson. Like food don't hit like Mississippi. It don't hit. I need the barbecue falling off the counter. Like it don't hit the same at all.
Does Jackson have like what Mississippi do? They have the best food that you.
To me, of all the places I've been, hands down. The best, and I would debate anybody named Mama on that. Jackson has the best food.
Over Memphis,
we got the best barbecue,
Chicago,
the best barbecue, and E&L barbecue has the best barbecue. And you can find somebody on the street with a smoker and they barbecue is gonna slap. I mean, Jackson got the best barbecue. We got the best wings. We got the best Mama Hamels. I think even like white people cook that. Mama Hamels is slapping. Like we got the best food. We like the #1 state for obesity. I think that's for a reason.
You said Jackson has like you got them over Memphis, Chicago, New Orleans.
I think Chicago got better pizza.
Chicago has better everything.
Pizza.
Chicago has the best like food selection. No, New York has it.
Pizza, I guess.
Wow.
They can have the pizza.
I'm
debating. I done had food in Chicago. I still be like Jackson. Okay. Jackson just don't got the best island food. That's it. That's Miami for sure. For sure.
And so the thing that I heard you mention was your passion is something that you also do as a hobby. So how important do you think that would be for like the youth again, or people who are trying to find themselves in business?
I think it's a double-edged sword. It's two ways that could work. Finding if you do what you love every day, I promise you it don't feel like work. I love sports, so going to work every day did not feel like going to work. It was fun. Painting every day doesn't feel like work. I wake up to to ideas about campus activity. I can do it off the clock, not get paid for it, and it don't feel like work. I'm always thinking of what's next. What can I paint next? What can I create next? How can I make my best business venture in sports? What's the next thing? So when you do what you love, you don't wake up like angry. You wake up productive and you put your best foot forward. The alternative to that is when you start making what you love work. And if you always look at it like work, then you stop loving to do it. So I have my days where it's like, I don't want to paint nothing. Don't nobody ask me to paint nothing. I'm not texting nobody back if it's about painting. Don't nobody call me if it's about tickets to no games. I don't want to do it. But if you do what you love, like figure out truly, sometimes you'd be surprised at the things people love that actually turn into career. Comedy the first person who cracked a joke, they probably didn't think it was a real job, but they love to do it and look at it now. So you never know how your passions could fuel, your pockets, your future, for sure.
So, the question is, okay, me and Marlon probably you work in sports, you know all about that.
I know about sports.
This is perfect. A lot of people that we see in the NBA, they get there. It was a hobby their whole life. You wasn't getting paid for it. You get there, and then you start making money, and it becomes a business.
Become a job.
So a lot of people struggle with the transition of being somebody who does something as a hobby and turning it into a business. What's the best way you could advise somebody to help ease their way into it or convert from it being a hobby to a business?
To a business. The best advice I could give you is that you never love nothing 100% of the time.
No.
You love nothing 100. You don't love yourself 100% of the time. You don't love something you eat 100. Sometimes you're gonna eat something you love it that day, the next day you don't.
Yeah.
You're not gonna love something 100% of the time. But if you ask yourself, what else would I? If I wasn't doing this, what else would I be doing? And would I be happy 100% of the time doing this? The answer is gonna be no. So you gotta realize that nothing in life come easy, nothing come cheap, nothing come free, and nothing worth having is worth losing. You see what I'm saying? So, granted, from a sports perspective, no, you wanna play. Everybody wanna play. Nobody wanna practice. Like what Allen Iverson, we talking about practice. Allen Iverson didn't want to go to practice. Allen Iverson did not want to go to practice. He wanted to show up and hoop.
Yeah.
But that's not, Rome wasn't built in a day. Allen Iverson didn't wake up and became the person he was. It was all that back end stuff that he didn't want to do that made him the person he is. And so you just gotta look like, if he wasn't hooping, if he asked himself, if I wasn't doing this, what would I be doing that I want to do 100% of the time? His answer will probably be, nah, this. Yeah. So you just gotta understand, like, shoot, nothing come easy. You're gonna have some days where you hate the process. But when you think about the result, how do you really feel? That's how I always look at it. Like, dang, I don't want to do this, but what's gonna be the outcome? And when you think about the outcome, if that outcome make you smile, stick to it. If you hate what the outcome look like, you need to reevaluate.
Yeah, and another thing a lot of people don't mention about business or success, literally, is probably the friendships and relationships you have along the way. So what would you, like, have you experienced, like, the leeches, the people trying to bring you down when you're up high and all of those, like, obstacles?
Yes, I would say. Not like I don't have a whole bunch of, like, haters. Good thing is I'm good about keeping really positive people in my circle. Like, my village has been tremendous. I'm not going to even sit here and doubt. Like, and if I do have naysayers, my village block them out before they even get to me. I have people like in the comments like, oh, we don't like the red is a traditional, oh, this is cute, but if something isn't, but it's going to be negative. They give you something positive, but
first is always going to be
here you go.
Yeah.
Right. But and so for me, it's like, as cliche as it sounds, they talked about Jesus. Who cares? Are you feeding me? Are you going to buy? Do you want this? Do you not? You could go. Like, you can't really care about what other people think. And
but Kel, I got a question though with that.
Go ahead.
Do you really 100% like not care? I think we all human.
So we care, but I care to a certain extent. Like, I see the comments, I'd be like, I'd be a little salty, but then I'm like, but this ain't, whether you hate it or not, what you gonna buy? Like, and that's being real. One person wrote it, was like, oh, the red is cute, but it's not traditional. Okay, I got gray and blue. You want that? You wasn't okay. If you wasn't gonna buy the gray and blue, then what you mad about? You could have shut up.
Exactly.
Like, it irritated me. If you wasn't gonna buy the traditional color, then why you mad about the untraditional color? Get out my business.
It's like a thing of, if you're gonna get criticism, at least be somebody supporting me.
Right.
If not, I don't really want to hear.
If I ain't have, so you ain't like this, but I got what you wanted, and you still don't want it. You just talking, just hear yourself talk at this point. Oh God, I don't care about stuff like that. I swear I don't. But everything bothers somebody. Nobody 100% bulletproof when it comes to like negativity or like comments. As far as like leeches go, I wouldn't say I've had people. And granted, I just probably don't be paying attention. I'm really like tunnel vision. Not yet. Not yet. When it came to my art, I think I started seeing it when like my graduation cap and some of my art was like on Shade Room, 17 magazine, Pop Sugar, so a lot. And BET, so BET featured 2 of my graduation caps. A lot of celebrities were reposting my graduation caps when they first like took off, and so I would have like, that's when people were like, I would get like cursed out in my DMs, or like people were talking crazy to me and try to like discredit my business. And it's like, it's just me. I'm one person. I'm in college. I'm out of college now. I'm a single mom. I'm trying to take care of my kid, and I don't really need that nigga. Like, you trying to bring my business down? Like, dang. So in that sense, you just can't care. It's like, you ain't gonna make nobody. Everybody in the world could like apples, and somebody ain't gonna like apples. Yeah, I developed tough skin. If you knew my mama, you would know she really big on like, shut up and just F them. My mama big on like F them, keep moving. And my mama say, one thing she loves to say is, show their ass. That's one thing. If you talk to her, she gonna say, Michaela, show their ass. So that's how I go into everything. I'm gonna show y'all ass.
You gotta be like that. Like you said, it's tunnel vision. Because only you can see your vision. Only you can see your dream.
For sure.
Only you know how you want it done, so go do it.
Yeah, my life been hard, and so people not liking something I do is the least of my, like, I do not care. It's the least of my concerns.
Okay, so what's next for you? Like, career-wise, personally, anything?
Yeah. So for me, I ain't never satisfied, like, with myself. But I'm definitely one of those people where my competition is in the mirror. I wake up, I write my goals down. I'm like, how do I get here? Like, how do I get here? So what's next for me is I'm hoping in the sports world to be in another management position. Overall, I want to be in the decision-making position when it comes to professional sports, where I could hire people like us, the hidden gems, because it's really some diamonds in the rough. You gotta be the right person to find those people who could do jobs efficiently. They may not look like you, they may not speak like you, they may not even have the same background, but they do that job and they do it well. So I'm hoping in the near future that I'm in a position where I'm able to be a manager and pour into more people and bring people like me into these professional spaces. For Mickey Yant art, it's never ending. People bring me new things every day. It's always a challenge, and so I'm here for that. I'm hoping. I was just talking to somebody. I'm trying to get one of those electric boxes downtown. I don't know how you get that, but if anybody knows, let me know so I could get one. So I can paint on
box.
Downtown, they have those like electric boxes, and they're all painted. They got like different artists from all over the city.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I would love to do one. I don't know how you do that, so if somebody knows, let me know. Yeah. And for campus activity, I got some heat coming to the fall. Like, this is light work. I just want everybody to know, light work. Like, the hoodies and the sweatshirts, it's cute, it's all right, but like for the fall, my foot finna be Jackson. My foot finna be on y'all next. Plus, I'm expanding to other schools, so it won't just be Jackson State.
So where could somebody find that sweatshirt right there?
So you can get the sweatshirt at thecampusactivity.com or go to our Instagram, Campus Activity, and hit the link in our bio. But thecampusactivity.com is where you can buy all merch and apparel. Again, stay tuned because the fall
shipping and handling and all that. Let them know you're gonna have it on time.
It's all
on time.
Yeah. Some stuff is made to order, but I let you know if it's made to order. Some stuff we have in stock. I let you know if it's in stock. I communicate. I send cute little graphics in the email. So I usually respond pretty fast if people DM me, comment, email. I respond pretty fast.
Okay.
Hands on.
So I guess we kind of just did the manifestation, but I'm going to ask you about 10 years down the road. Yeah. Where do you want to be at? What's your end goal in life?
Oh, yeah. So 10 years from now, again, I'm still hoping to be working in sports, but I'm hoping to be like up there, like vice president of blank, 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 or director of blank, 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 where I can build a team around me that, again, can get the job done effectively. So whether that be in the NFL, the MLB, or the NBA, I'm really hoping that I'm a high-up executive, a vice president, director, making decisions that effectively represent an organization, that speaks to the culture, and that is equally diverse. So you see minorities, so not just black people, but minorities, women, transgender, just that is all inclusive, but again, getting the job done. As far as campus activity goes, I'm hoping to not be so hands-on because I literally do everything. I stitch it, I take them to go get stitched, I place them, I draw them. I'm hoping to have a team of people that can help me out, like come up with some new designs, come up with like talking with manufacturers and watching things get sewn on and stitched so I can really just check the boxes. Like, all right, I like this, go. I'm hoping to see these on celebrities, and for HBCU nights for like the NBA, I'm hoping to see like Chris Paul walking by in campus activity, or LeBron James, or Chad Ochocinco. So I'm hoping for campus activity to just be a household name at all of the HBCUs across the country.
Okay, you said something, and I actually wanted to touch bases on it. You said you do everything by yourself, correct?
I do everything by myself, yes.
Did you intend on it being that way, or like, what I'm getting at is, a lot of the times in business, a lot of people, I was one of those victims. You go into business and you want to do everything by yourself.
Right.
And it get hard later on, and you like, you know what? I may need some help.
Right.
So, was that something that you had to deal with?
Yes, so starting out again, it was just an idea. It was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. But when I saw the demand and the way you have to sell now is so different. You have to keep people's attention. You got to make content. And I'm old. Well, I'm not that old. I feel like I'm old. Like TikToks and videos, you have to keep people engaged. You have to come out with just questions and graphics, and so I'm real micromanaging, especially because I'm an artist and I'm really sensitive about how I want things to look, and I want things to be cohesive. And if it's like, how can I trust somebody to do something that I care about so deeply? And so I do have a partner now who has been tremendous in helping me with like a lot of my like legal stuff, like behind the scenes, a lot of paperwork that I don't have time for. So no, originally it was not. I didn't think it was gonna be this big. I'm not gonna even lie. I didn't think it was gonna blow up like this. But now that my overhead is just. It's getting out of control. I'm hoping to get graphic designers or content makers and somebody really just to press play. I got a tripod, so like making TikToks, changing outfits takes 3 hours. I have to change my makeup, my hair, just for like a 30-second TikTok. So that was just not how I started, but I'm hoping that I can, like you said, step back and trust people with my vision and it still be something that people enjoy.
Yeah. I want you to touch on it because like a lot of us really do that. Like
yes,
with the Jacksonia, you know, we had to go through that as far as growing. So I mean, I thought that was important for a lot of people to hear because everybody literally, the people that are going to see what you're saying, most of them are probably doing business by themselves.
Right.
And network, they don't realize the power of network yet, like networking and actually having help. So.
They're just trusting. You gotta trust people because like I'm handwriting every note, making every sticker, cutting every piece, packaging, shipping, and I'm burnt out. And it's like, if I'm doing all this, I can't focus on making the next best thing. So it's being hands off and find, like you said, networking with really good people who align with your goals to help make your vision come to life. All right.
Well, look, thank you for coming.
Thank y'all for having me. Like I appreciate being here.
Yeah, we enjoyed you. Do you have any special shout outs, anything that you want to plug and tag in right here?
Yes, so I do want to dedicate this, if that's okay, this interview to my brother, Bebe Byron Burns. I do love you so much. And so follow me. You can follow me personally at Mickey Yant, MICKEY.YANT. And Campus Activity, it's just spelled like that, Campus Activity. Stay tuned, be on the lookout for some cool videos, some cool pictures, some cool content. I told y'all we got our foot on y'all necks in the fall. Like these hoodies is cute, but we really got some heat coming for the fall. If Jackson State isn't your school, we got other schools coming. So we looking to go to Southern, FAMU, Alcorn. Like we taking over the swag. I want to see everybody in Campus Activity around Jackson. And if y'all, if you like what you see, comment, tag us, like just hitting that like button on anything. The heart that means a lot to a small business owner. So. Yeah, that's really all I got. Thank y'all for having me, though.
All right, thank you for coming.
For sure.
Right. Boom. Hey, we didn't even record her stuff on this phone. We did it on your phone. Mm-hmm. So why you let me go and feel bad about that?
You should feel bad.
No, I just realized that shit. I was like, nigga, we didn't even fucking
Why you should get to like on your inside of your head. Like get something cool. You had a hairstyle.
I'm still recording.